Me and yoga, me and my relationship with yoga as such. You know, when I was quite young, like in my teens, I don't talk about it too much, but there was a particular experience, and really you could say from the age of 16 on, this path opened up. But it took time to get into more formal practices, so to speak. So from sort of 16 to 23, there was actually a bit of a search. But by the time I was 23, I came across the first experience of yoga. You know, had been to a meditation class, etc. And this is a long time ago, right? But I can still remember the initial feeling with yoga practice is, wow, this impact on my body. It seems really intelligent physical activity. Of course, over the years, I was to learn much more what it is and its impact, and really its impact on the psychological side, even beyond psychological. You know, that's what we might call spiritual. And so, very early on, my interest was an enjoyment of perhaps practices that come out with the body, breath, etc. But the interest lay in the inner work, yeah, the inner unfolding. And you know, that led to it led to it leading me. See what I mean? So instead of me having a typical job, etc., or something, you know, I'd had jobs more that, you know, barely pay the rent, but I could follow this personal interest, this yogic meditative path. Then it was strong enough that by then I was living in New York City, that I wanted to go much deeper, explore, practice more. So, you know, about 20 years ago, I moved over to, ideally it was India, but stopped in Thailand, and then it was a combination for years of Thailand, India. But it was probably that first 7 years focused so much on practices, inner work. But within that time, life takes over too, you know, and then there's a marriage, then there's kids, etc. And yet all that added a lot to this inner process. So the one thing that stayed with me, that never left, was daily inner and even outer practice. See, and it's gone so deep, so strong that it when you read these texts and teachings, or you listen to the teacher, you have a different degree of understanding. You see, and that did also kind of be a base to enter into some of this other scientific study and work. But even then, that aspect comes back and more deeply informs, works with, you might say, the original intention, original studying of these practices, you know. So at this point, you know, after 25 years, I'm like, you know, this stuff is real. It's like a real powerful relationship, and you put in the time and the open heart. And I can only be grateful because, you know, it's helped me release other aspects of personality that didn't help. It's helped, say, open the heart. It's helped me, you know, activate intelligence, so to speak, and live what has been, you know, it allows me, by just flowing with it, to live what I can think is a good life, you know. That is me in yoga. So far. Story's not over yet. No.